Today we learn about PowerPoint for genealogy. Now we can turn that family tree research and images into a beautiful book or photo album, presentation or video by using PowerPoint to create output. Choose if the content is suited to a book where people can sit and thumb through it in their leisure without the need for electronics. Or will you be presenting it at an event where a slide presentation makes more sense? Or will you take that presentation and turn it into a video, either to send to others or to post on a site like YouTube or Facebook? Once you've decided who your audience is and which output you want, set up PowerPoint for that option. First, we'll look at creating a book. This family history was researched by Jacqueline's family over many decades. She was desperate to move it from binders full of handwritten letters and government records in French, German, and English into something her kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids would read. But why did I choose PowerPoint and not Word? 115 pages and very little text, mostly pictures and a narrative that looks like handwritten notes from Jacqueline. I augmented her data with photos, local histories, and records she didn't have, like naturalization and military, plus reports from Family Tree Maker. It was a labor of love on all sides. Before you start collecting images and other content, reformat how you will be seeing them in PowerPoint. Default is wide and horizontal, while a book is narrow and vertical. In the Design tab, under Slide Size, you have three options: the original and old school standard, widescreen, and custom slide size. Click Custom and change to letter paper and portrait, which is vertical. This is an important tip when setting up your size. Use the dimensions required by your professional printer. For example, Lulu.com requires an extra space around the edges for trimming and the gutter between the pages. And the cover must be a separate file with both covers on one big page. Now that it's the correct format, we want to create consistency from the beginning to the end of the book. This gives it a more polished look. Use guides and theme fonts to help create consistency. That means whether it's page 5 or 39, all the headlines are the same size, font, and placement, even if one has a subhead. Use the same style of art, like the arrows for the narrative. Notice the specialty font in Jacqueline's narrative looks more like a handwritten item and is in green, a healthy color to help offset the tragedy of their family's story. I only use this color and style in her narrative. Make decisions like to put a border around all images, to use left justification with an indent, and to make the first paragraph a little bigger than the rest to make it easy to read. These are my decisions. You have to make your own. Just be consistent. Even on the pages that I pulled as a screenshot from Family Tree Maker and Ancestry, I added something to each headline to make it consistent that wasn't in the original reports. What do you think it was? Dates! To help the reader know where or when we are. It can get confusing when you're talking about history, so show them where they are. Once I decided on a new format, I immediately go through the entire book and make all the changes. If you don't work that way, here's a tip to help you remember. Make a list of your choices to refer to. In the publishing industry, it's called a style guide, to maintain that consistency. When I'm ready to send it to the professional printer, I go to File, Save As, to save and upload in a format they want, like a PDF or an image format like TIFF. Lulu.com prefers PDF for the interior and TIFF for the cover. They even offer a free 25-page book creation guide, which starts out suggesting that you be consistent, plus a lot more. Blurb.com accepts both as well. Under Help, look for their printing tips. Now you know the two main secrets to creating a book or any printed document in PowerPoint: changing the design size to custom letter paper and being consistent with all the elements. Then your book will become an heirloom treasure to be passed from generation to generation. Now we create a photo album of images we have manipulated or montaged. I don't think that's a verb, but we'll use it as one. Save those photo montage images as slides, then export and print them professionally as photos. I've been in this room and I know I'll be speaking right here. If you know the room where you will be presenting is not a good candidate for a PowerPoint slideshow, creating and using photos is a good option. I print 8 by 10 enlargements, slip them in sheet protectors to hold up and then pass around while I speak. They're useful in binders too, they don't slip around so much. Resize your slides into the custom size of 10 by 8. If it's a montage, make sure it's a large photo and large text. Once it resizes, check to verify all contents fit on the slide as expected. Then go to File, Save As, choose the image format you want, GIF, JPEG, PNG, or TIFF. Let's choose JPEG. PowerPoint asks which slides do you want to export, all slides or just this one? If you have 150 slides, you might choose just this one. If you have 15 that you want to print out, choose all slides. PowerPoint creates a new folder with those 15 images for you to print on your home printer or send out to print your images professionally. If you use Microsoft 365, you may have noticed Copilot, their new artificial intelligence tool. This is an easy way to start using AI to improve your work. It can even create a starter presentation for you. Here we are, what PowerPoint was created for. Create a presentation. Will you be presenting your genealogy adventure at a family reunion, or a genealogy society meeting, or at a local lunchtime meeting where you often have no control over the size of the screen? What do you think is the first secret to making a successful presentation? Make it big, both the image and the text. To make it big, you also need to keep it simple, sweetheart. Visualize this screen. Can the people in the back see it? Fill the screen with the image. This is where design ideas can really help. It's on the Home tab, but the pane will automatically open when it thinks it can help. For example, you grab a screenshot of the Plymouth Rock for your presentation, and Design Ideas offers ways to make it bigger. Just click the one you like. You also want to make the text big. KISS is huge. In fact, it's 115 points, and 1 point equals 1/72 of an inch. Remember consistency with creating a book? The same goes here. A rule of thumb is no more than 2 fonts per presentation, one for the headline and one for the body text, plus maybe one more for specialty purposes like KISS. What do we avoid at all costs? See the third column? Bullet points. If you need to share a list, follow the 6-6 rule of thumb. Keep it to no more than 6 lines and no more than 6 words per line like this. Keep pictures big, keep text big, keep fonts to 2+, keep lists short, keep bullets out of your show. That one is 6 words, the limit. And I can add more content to what I'm saying, but just showing it, keep it short. Notice I didn't show you the whole list at once. We can choose to animate each text box to appear on click or automatically after the previous item, or both in sequence. I use a remote clicker, but you can use your mouse or keyboard. PowerPoint knows you might be a little nervous when presenting and might forget how to advance the slides. In Slideshow View, hit F1 to see shortcuts like on the keyboard, you can hit N, space, right arrow, down arrow, enter, or page down to advance the slides. On the mouse, just left click. You can also see options for going back to the previous animation. First and foremost, use animation to enhance, not overpower the image. This would be bad. Here's how to animate. First, click on the text, image, or object to animate. Then, in the Animation tab, select the animation to use. Then choose how it should appear, on click, with, or after previous. Turn on the animation pane so you can keep track of it all. At the top of the pane, click the play button to make the animations run so you can see how they will play in order. But it doesn't pause for your click like it will while you're presenting. In the ribbon, I changed two of the animations to start after previous, so I only have to click twice while presenting. I like clicking less, not more. You can also make changes on the animation pane. Did I mention that I live in PowerPoint? I know every animation available: entrance effects, emphasis effects, and exit. But there's also motion paths to move it around the screen. I also know when to use them and when not to use them, and that's most of the time. Just like when designing a book, keep it simple, sweetheart. Using animation can be very complex for you and annoying for your audience, so start small. Use it with purpose and be consistent by only using one or two understated types, like fade, and remember to save early and save often. Here's a tip for when your big presentation is slow to open or save. Look at File, Info, for ways to optimize and compress media to cut out the bloat. When it's time to practice your animations as the audience will see them, use the slideshow button at the bottom of the screen. That will put you in slideshow view from the slide you are currently on, so you can see your animation with clicks. Then hit the escape button to go back to normal view. You have an entire tab of tools to help you present your slideshow. For example, Rehearse with Coach. This new tool lets you rehearse while PowerPoint keeps track of your speech and word usage. It listens while giving your presentation. When you hit Escape to stop, your rehearsal report appears with useful feedback. When your presentation is finished and you're done practicing at your desk and in front of the mirror, it's time for a dress rehearsal. That means with the type of equipment you will be using on site, like a projector or a monitor. You cannot fully rehearse without it. You might even be able to use your TV, if your connections are right. First, know your laptop. Will you need a VGA connector or an HDMI, or something else like an Apple dongle or AirPlay? To rehearse at home, you might need to buy a cable. I bought a 16-foot HDMI cable, which I take with me and use all the time. In fact, I bought another about 4 feet as an extension to it because it's just not long enough. You might even need to bring your own extension cable. I always keep one in my computer bag. Next, review your computer settings for projecting. Microsoft makes it super easy to find. Just hit the Windows key with P. Yours could look like this or this. Either way, you determine how you want to see it. You will likely only need duplicate or extend. Use duplicate if you want to see on your laptop only that what the audience sees. If you're not going to be using the tools and the notes or the clock or preview of what's to come, just use duplicate. But if you want to see your own backstage view with all those tools, use extend. This is powerful stuff. Called presenter view, you can see your notes and timing tools and what slide is next, plus the ones that they can see. You can resize these areas for what makes sense to you. You can also make your notes bigger here. When rehearsing, if you don't have access to a projector or second screen, you can still see and rehearse with presenter view by hitting Alt and the F5 key. F5 will start your presentation on slide 1, and Alt puts it in presenter view, whether you have that monitor or not. After all that rehearsing, it's time to present to a live in-person audience. We have connected our laptop to the projector or monitor. We have chosen the project mode we want, extend. We have opened PowerPoint to our presentation's first slide. Now hit F5 or slideshow view to show the slideshow on the screen. Before we save the presentation, you might want to add some transitions between slides. Transitions affect how a slide enters, not exits. But KISS, keep it to 2 styles. One style between sections, maybe one style between special slides like tip, but not between every slide. They will add time to the presentation and can be annoying, so use them with purpose. This tip is useful if you are told to bring your thumb drive and nothing else. But when you get there, you only see this and maybe this. And are you sure they even have PowerPoint? To be safe, you can also save your presentation as a PowerPoint show. You can see the icon is different. It will open your presentation in slideshow view with all the animations that you can control with a clicker, mouse, or keyboard, but you don't need PowerPoint. Here's a huge caution that's happened to me. When you save as show, you lose your notes. Also, even if you save as PowerPoint, there could be a room setup that you can't control, and you might lose access to your notes. Can you read those notes? Now, when I'm told to just bring a thumb drive, I'm also bringing a paper copy or my laptop for my notes. A final thought on presentations before we learn to turn it into a video. Immediately after every time you present, improve your presentation by adding a better image to explain a point, creating animation to help build the drama, and adding notes to remember the exact words of your point or punchline. Keep making it better and word will spread. You will be invited by more and more people to share your family story. When it's polished to the point that you are ready for the world to see it, it's time to create a video. Here's a tip. If you want to draw attention to something on the screen while presenting or recording, use PowerPoint's internal laser pointer. When you are in slideshow view, use Control with your mouse click and drag where you want the laser to go. To record the presentation, choose from 3 options on the new Record tab, on the Slideshow tab, and the Record button at the top of the ribbon. Either way, you can record audio and/or video narrations, animations on the slide, transitions between the slides, plus ink and laser pointer. On the new Record tab, your options are more obvious. Choose either Record from beginning or just from the current slide if you need to re-record a section. Either button opens to the record screen with its own tools. Before you hit the record button, decide if you want to record your video image, no, and or audio. Turn either on or off by clicking its icon. Each slide that you narrate will have a separate audio file on the slide, so don't talk while the slide is changing. Click the icon to review it, and see Audio Format tab to change how the icon looks, and the Playback tab to edit how the audio plays. Also, right-click for more options like Save Media as an audio file. Do you see why I call PowerPoint powerful? When you're done verifying audio, video, and animations are working as expected, either save it as a show, which we showed you earlier, or if you record with timings, you can export to video, which once started will play automatically to the end. You get a success message when it's done exporting. It takes a while. You might go away and come back. Today, we learned the power of PowerPoint for genealogy. We can now keep track of images and reference materials by using PowerPoint as an electronic scratchpad. We learned to manipulate and fix photos in PowerPoint. Who's going to use that? And now we can turn that research and images into a beautiful book, photo album, presentation, or even video by using PowerPoint to create output.